بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم ولعن أعداءهم. السلام عليك يا مولاي يا صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليك وعلى آبائك الطاهرين ورحمة الله وبركاته. There is a phrase in one of Imam Rida's supplications for the Imam of our time, Imam Zaman alayhi salam. He says, اللهم إنا نشهد يوم القيامة ويوم حلول الطامة أنه لم يرتكب ذنبا ولا أتى حوله. Oh Allah, we bear witness that Imam Zaman did not commit any sins while he was alive, while he was in this world. In the day of judgment, we'll witness for Imam Zaman that he was infallible. But how? How? We can witness, because if you want to witness something, you have to observe it. A witness cannot rely only on his knowledge. If he wants to witness, usually he has to observe. However, there are some exemptions. Let me bring you some of those exemptions. Once our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam bought a she-camel from a Bedouin guy. And then he paid the money to that Bedouin guy. After that, that guy actually told the Prophet that you didn't pay me anything. It was then when one of the Prophet's companions actually reached the Prophet and told the Prophet, what's the problem? Why you are standing here? And the Prophet replied that I bought this she-camel from this guy, but he's saying that I did not pay him anything. And Khuzaym ibn Thabit said, I witnessed that you paid him. And the Prophet said, how? You were not here. He said, yes, but I actually believe in your prophethood. And that means that you are a trustworthy person. And I trust you, and whatever you are saying is correct. You don't lie. We believe you as a prophet. So of course we will believe what you say. When you say that you paid this guy, it means that you paid this guy. And the Prophet said, Allahu Akbar, and I will consider your witness as twice, as two persons. And then the Prophet grabbed the she-camel and went. A similar story has been mentioned also about Imam Ali, the commander of the faithful. The Prophet bought something, probably a camel, and the seller said that you didn't actually give me the money. And the Prophet said, yes, I paid you the money. I paid you 70 dirham. And Imam Ali wished them, or they wished Imam Ali alayhi salam. And then Imam Ali asked the Prophet, what's the problem? And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told Imam Ali the story. And Imam Ali looked at that seller, that Bedouin guy, and told him, don't falsify the Prophet while you know that what he's saying is correct. He's telling the truth. He's a trustworthy person, and that person kept insisting on his stance. And Imam Ali alayhi salam actually uncovered his sword and actually killed that man. The Prophet told him, why you killed him? Imam Ali replied, because he was falsifying you. He had his own agenda. And the Prophet said, Allahu Akbar, you are correct. So Imam Ali actually killed that guy because he was not only denying the prophethood of the Prophet, but also was accusing the Prophet of Islam in his government, accusing him with being a liar, accusing him of being a liar. That's why Ali alayhi salam killed that guy, because he was fighting against the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So what I'm trying to say is that Khuzaymah ibn Thabit bear witness that the Prophet paid that Bedouin guy the money. How? He wasn't there, but he actually knew that the Prophet is a Prophet of Allah, a messenger of Allah, and he actually saw evidence of the Prophet, miracles of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And of course, if someone is a Prophet of Allah, he won't lie. That's why he witnessed that the Prophet paid that Bedouin guy the money. So when we say that, O Imam Zaman, O Allah, we bear witness on the day of judgment before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that our Imam Zaman did not commit any sin. We say that in accordance to our belief and knowledge. So we have to have very strong belief to be able to witness on the day of judgment for Imam Zaman that he was infallible. The other way is to meet Imam Zaman. Is that possible? Yes. Too many of our scholars, too many of pious people met with Imam Zaman because Imam Zaman lives in the same world that we live in. We are now in Masjid Sahla, the mosque of Sahla. This holy place gonna be the place that Imam Zaman alayhi salam will consider it as his home. He will live in the mosque of Sahla. Too many scholars met with Imam Zaman in this holy mosque. Ayatollah Mirza Mahdi Isfahani met with Imam Zaman in this holy mosque. I've heard this story from my teacher, Ayatollah Mirza Jalaluddin al-Marwari, who used to be a student of Ayatollah al-Mirza Mahdi al-Isfahani. He studied with him for 70 years. I studied with Mirza Jalaluddin al-Marwari for 5 years. He told me this story several times, that Mirza Mahdi al-Isfahani, when he migrated to Najaf to study, to seek knowledge of Ahlul Bayt, he came here, but unfortunately he went and studied philosophy. And when we say philosophy, we're not talking about logical or critical thinking, logics that every person has. We're talking about philosophy, ancient philosophy. And he started to study that and take too many courses in philosophy until one day he realized that what he's studying is against the Quran and Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. He left everything and he came to this holy mosque. And he started to weep and cry and seek refuge in Imam Zaman alayhi salam. The mosque caretaker said once that I saw Mirza Mahdi al-Isfahani crying like a mother who has lost his babies. Not only one baby, his babies. Until one day, he saw Imam Zaman alayhi salam, and he saw that it was written on his chest probably that طلب المعارف من غيرنا مساوق لإنكارنا. Whoever seeks ma'arif and knowledge from other than Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, he's actually denying the status of Ahlul Bayt. Ahlul Bayt has the knowledge. The Prophet said, أنا مدينة العلم وعلي بابها, that I am the city of knowledge, and Ali ibn Abi Talib is the door of that city. So why seeking knowledge of ancient philosophers. The knowledge is with the Holy Quran and Ahlul Bayt. The knowledge is with prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, messengers of Allah. So if you want ma'arif, you have to seek ma'arif of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. So طلب المعارف من غيرنا مساوق لإنكارنا أقامني الله وأنا الحجة بن الحسن. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has appointed me and I am al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan al-Mahdi. Some people might say that it's impossible for us to see Imam Zaman. No, it's not impossible for us to see Imam Zaman. Actually, in accordance to some of our narrations, that too many people will have the opportunity to meet Imam Zaman, but usually they cannot recognize him. And that's why when he reappears, inshallah, may Allah hasten his reappearance, people will say that we have met this man of God, the lineage of the Prophet, but we couldn't recognize him. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to hasten his reappearance. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq to be amongst Imam Zaman's companion. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq and favor us with the tawfiq actually to serve our Imam and to pave the way for his reappearance. Assalamu alayka ya mawlai ya sahib al-asr wal zaman. Assalamu alaykum wa ala abaik al-tahirin wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.